In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to make a 100% AI clone system that automatically researches interesting topics, writes a video script, writes a video caption, creates your AI avatar, and then publishes it to multiple social platforms at the same time without having to pay $150 for a or share, so that you can fully automate your short form video creation, especially to TikTok and Instagram Reels. So here's an example of my AI avatar in action. I just muted it, but I'll play it in a sec with the sound as well. And you can see this posted fairly well, 168,000 impressions on LinkedIn. And then the text of this post was created with Blotato.com, the platform I built. But you can see the quality of the avatar is actually really, really good. Many platforms, including LinkedIn, are pushing short form video content, so you can create a pretty high quality avatar of yourself. Now, here's the same video with sound so you can get a sense of how it all works together.
If you're not protecting your family's online safety, you're leaving the door open for cyber threats.
To get a much more professional sounding voice, I'll walk through that next week. In this video, I'm going to walk through the base workflow automation that does research, writes scripts, creates the videos, and then publishes them out. This is what it looks like at a high level using make.com, but honestly, you can use any automation tool such as Zapier, Pipedream, or N8N. Okay, so we're going to walk through it step by step. If you're not familiar with make.com, go ahead and click create a new scenario up here. I call this AI clone base because I'm going to build more complex AI clone automations on top of this base workflow automation. The first node you're going to add is Perplexity. If you're new to make.com, you just click add module. Okay, search for Perplexity here. Create a chat completion. Here's what the module should look like. So add your connection here. It's going to ask you for your API key. So head on over to Perplexity to grab it. I just went with the default model that was selected. So in our large 128K. And then here's the prompt. And obviously use this just as a starting point, right? Your task is to research. In this case, the niche will be practical cybersecurity tips for families. And then create a monologue script that will be spoken by an AI avatar. Step one, use the internet to find current and relevant cybersecurity tips, focus on practical, easy to implement advice, create a 25-second monologue script that should be approximately 25 seconds when spoken aloud, 6th grade reading level, practical examples or scenarios. Update the script's first 2 sentences to state what the video is about and use a negative hook. These just tend to work well on social media. And then output formats, only output the video script. Do not output anything else. Never include intermediate thoughts, notes, or formatting. This is really important if you want a 100% automated flow because you don't want your AI avatar outputting random stuff, notes that it had throughout the process. Here, I chose user, meaning it's as if I went to Perplexity and gave it this prompt. But honestly, I know a lot of people who like to put the prompt as a system prompt, and it works well too. Again, this prompt is just a starting point. If you do want to copy paste it, check the newsletter. The next step is to write a video caption. You could have, of course, continued using Perplexity to do this. I just wanted to show how you might use OpenAI ChatGPT. So add a module, okay, OpenAI, right? And then create a completion. That's the one you want. Okay, I'm going to delete it. Open the one we have. Add an account. It's going to ask you for your API key. You don't need to put in your organization ID. Select a method, create a chat completion. I'm using GPT-4o Mini because honestly, this isn't that intensive of a task. I just needed to write a short caption for the video. Role user and then text content. So here I'm basically giving ChatGPT an example, an SEO optimized video caption or description taken directly from one of my TikTok videos about Ask Engine optimization. In terms of my format, I typically will write a paragraph followed by 3 questions that a viewer might ask to search for this type of video, and then followed by a number of hashtags relevant to the video. And the reason this is important is because social media platforms are search engines. On TikTok, for example, about 35% of my weekly views come from search. So I like to have, fairly detailed descriptions, what the video is about, questions that the user might ask to find this kind of content, and relevant hashtags. Here's just some tips on the writing style, trying to make it not sound like AI as much as possible. Write a 50-word caption, analyze the provided example, the structure, the tone of voice, etc. And the guidelines basically describe how it should be formatted. Start with a paragraph summarizing the source, new line followed by 3 bullet points of questions, then new line followed by the 5 most popular hashtags related to the topic. Then we feed in the video script from the previous step. So if you're new to make.com, you kind of just click here, and then here in Perplexity, go to choices, message, and content. This is basically the output that we get from the previous node, Perplexity, right? And so when you drag it over here, that's what it looks like. Delete it so we don't have a duplicate. Now, the next step is to actually create the avatar video. And this is the step that takes the longest amount of time. So go ahead, add a new module. Search for HeyGen, add your HeyGen connection. By the way, my newsletter will also contain this make scenario that you can import into your make account. So definitely check that out if you don't want to build all this from scratch. If you're not familiar with HeyGen, definitely recommend it for creating video avatars. It just has the highest quality video avatars. But one thing to keep in mind though is the pricing. So here, creator 29 per month. It says unlimited videos, but this is only if you create videos through the web app. But what we're doing is creating videos in bulk through the API. So it has a separate pricing plan. Click up here, HeyGen API pricing plans, and basically you get 10 free credits per month, but that only makes 10 avatar videos. So if you're truly scaling this up, the starting plan is 99 per month and you get 100 credits per month. So keep that in mind. Again, if you're just testing, you can just test it for free here. Once you're ready to scale up, then the starting price is 99 per month. And if you haven't made a video avatar before, it's super easy. So you just go to avatars and then click create avatar. It's going to explain to you the process. Just click get started. I typically choose still. Then it's going to give you a bunch of text instructions. My general tips here for creating a high quality looking avatar is to submit the full 5 minutes of footage. Instead of 2 minutes, which is the minimum, submit the full 5 minutes of footage. Use a high resolution camera. Your iPhone honestly is fine. I personally recommend people sit outside when it's sunny. If the sun's a little too harsh, just sit in the shade. But the reason for that is you just get such a nice look when you have natural sunlight. The ultimate lighting hack is sunlight, right? Look directly into the camera. Don't like look around everywhere with your eyes. Look at the camera and talk for 5 minutes straight. And I personally don't recommend using a lot of like gestures or body movements because it ends up looking awkward in the avatar video. The main thing to avoid is stitched footage. So if you have like 1 minute clip, 1 minute clip, 1 minute clip, and you're stitching them together, it's going to be rejected by HeyGen, unfortunately. It needs to be you talking to the camera directly for 5 minutes without any pauses, without any cut footage, without moving around. Once you have that ready to go, just upload footage here, and then it takes probably 10-15 minutes to create your avatar. Once you have your avatar ready, it'll appear here, and your avatar can have up to 100 different looks. So I only have 2 looks right now. This is the first one I created. This is the second one I created indoors, but look how nice that natural lighting is, right? Then click here at the top to the voices. So with each that I made, it also created a new voice. If you haven't set all this up in HeyGen yet, then go ahead and do that first, right? Create your avatar. It's going to automatically create a voice as well. And then we can go back to make.com. Here, select avatar. And then if you've connected your account, you should see a list of avatars in this drop-down menu. So choose the one you created and then set your voice. Voice type text, meaning we're going to provide the written script and then our avatar is going to say it. Voice ID will be a drop-down, so just select the voice ID that was created when you created your avatar. And then input text is the scripts that we want our avatars to say. So go ahead, go to Perplexity, choices, message, content. Right? So drag it over here. This is the script we want the avatar to say. And these are some things you can change as well. Voice speed, voice pitch, voice emotion method. I changed mine to excited, so it's a little less monotone. Then the title of the video. This is really just for like internal reference. This title isn't going to be used when we publish it to social media. What I like to do is put the niche, let's say cybersecurity, and then the date so that it's unique. To get the dates, you can go to ChatGPT, created, and just drag it over here. Okay. Test mode, no. Captions, I usually say no, but this is totally up to you. If you like the look of HeyGen's captions, then just say yes. And then this is really important for short form video. Make sure your width is 720 and your height is 1280. Okay, once that's all set, click OK. And then what we're going to do is put some delays here so we can wait for the video to be done. So click add module, type sleep. Okay. And this will delay execution for a period of time. I set it to 300, which is the maximum. That's 5 minutes. And then just in case, I added another wait module for another 3 minutes. Here on the free plan of make.com, I believe the execution timeout is 5 minutes. So you won't be able to add the secondary sleep over here. But if you're on a paid version of make.com, the execution timeout is much higher. So you can add wait modules. And when you download this make file, by the way, there will be some notes over here. I just put some stuff to watch out for. So like each platform has character limits, like Threads and Twitter. So I do truncate the video caption for those two platforms. To write the script, I recommend Perplexity because it has real-time internet access. So you can do things like cover breaking news, like tell Perplexity to find the most viral news from the past 48 hours. To write the caption, I just use any AI like I mentioned earlier. And then we'll talk about this in a bit, but to set up your social accounts where you can programmatically publish to all of your social platforms, you'll need to sign up for, this is an app I built called blotato.com that handles everything, but there are alternatives as well, such as Airshare. However, it starts at $150 per month, whereas blotato.com starts at $29 per month. Here, this is relevant to the wait time. So if you're making really long avatar videos, you may need to add additional sleep modules. So the way to think of it is if your video is below like 30 seconds, waiting 5 minutes should be enough. Between 30 and 60 seconds, I like to wait 8 to 10 minutes. If your video is longer than 60 seconds, then you may need to add other wait modules just in case. Okay, so now we're done waiting, and then we're going to add another HeyGen to go fetch the avatar video. Add another HeyGen node, and then your video ID is what's returned from creating the video. Okay, so just drag this over here like this, and that'll be video ID. Okay, so now we have our scripts, we have our captions, we have the avatar video completed. The last step is to publish everything to social media and then also record it in a Google Sheet. So we're going to add a node here to set different variables. Add a module, search for variables. Okay, and then click Sets Variable. So this is where you're going to put things like your Blotato API key and your account IDs for each social media platform. To be able to open this, you do have to like connect it to something. So I just connected it to the router here, but we're going to delete all this once you set it up. And then let me open my notes here again. So if you're not familiar with blotato.com, just go to blotato.com. Okay, this is my app to help creators create viral posts and faceless videos. Okay, so sign up for it there. There's a 7-day free trial. And then to get your Blotato key, go to help.blotato.com/settings/API keys over here. And then follow the instructions to get your API keys. And then once you have that, then you want to connect all of your social accounts in Blotato. And this is the tutorial that walks you through it, right? You just go to your settings and then log into each social media account that you want to publish to. Once you've done all that, you've set up your Blotato account, you've grabbed your API key, and you've connected your social accounts in Blotato. What we're going to do is open it. So paste in your API key here. You'll also get your Instagram account ID, your Facebook ID, your Facebook page ID, your LinkedIn ID, your Twitter ID, your TikTok ID, and your Threads ID. So you'll get them all once you sign up for your Blotato API key. And so just fill them out here. Pretty straightforward. I'm going to delete this node. Okay. So once you've set up your social accounts, the first step is to upload the avatar video to Blotato. The reason why is because if you try to publish on Instagram, for example, and just feed in the HeyGen URL that you get, it just doesn't work. So first we need to upload to Blotato and then grab the publicly available URL from Blotato to publish to the social platforms. V2 Media, post request, Blotato-API-key, and then the value from our node where we set all the variables. Body type raw, content type JSON, and the request content is really, really simple. It's just URL and then the video URL from this step over here. Set up a router node, and what this will do is call all of these paths in parallel. This is where we're going to publish everything as well as add it to Google Sheets to track all of our content. And then for each branch where we publish it, we're going to create a JSON first. This just helps to handle like the really long scripts, escape any new lines and other characters. There are 3 distinct data structures that we're going to create. So there's going to be published post, which basically handles all social media platforms except Facebook and TikTok. Facebook, it has its own separate version because you have to put in a page ID. And then TikTok has its own separate data structure because there's a bunch of parameters you have to feed in. To create these, go over to the sidebar, click More, and then click data structures. And what you're going to do is basically just copy this exactly what I have here. So I'll scroll down pretty slowly. So this is publish post. Make sure you name it like this so you don't forget. Post, type collection, and then account ID, number, required. Basically everything's required. And then contents. So there's a collection, account ID, and then content. It's also a collection. Use text, type text, required. And then media URLs is an array of URLs. Type text because it's a URL, and then platform. Targets, target, type collection, target type. So this is basically what platform, like TikTok, Facebook, Threads, whatever. Type text, required, yes. Okay. So yeah, just make sure you copy this exactly. So that's publish post. And then what we're going to do is publish post Facebook. I recommend cloning the previous one because there's only one additional parameter here that's added. Click edit to open it up. So again, it has everything from the previous version. The only additional thing that's added is page ID, which is a text. This is required by Facebook. You have to specify the page ID since your Facebook accounts could be managing multiple different pages. Okay, so text required, and that's it. Everything else is the same. Okay, and now the last one, TikTok. This one's pretty different from the other ones. So this is the same. Post, type collection, target, collection, target type. Okay, this is new. Privacy level, just text. Disabled comments, which is a Boolean. Disabled duets, which is a Boolean, disabled stitch, which is a Boolean. And notice that I'm setting the default values of this. Comments, no. Disabled duet, no. Disabled stitch, no. Is branded content, no. Is your brand, no. It's AI generated. I set the default no. Everything else is the same. Content, type collection, text, type text, platform, type text, media URLs, account ID. And yeah, so everything else is the same except for all the parameters that were over here. Once you've created those 3 data structures, we'll go back to our make scenario. For this JSON, we're just going to do Blotato publish post. Grab your Instagram ID. This text refers to the caption. So grab that from the OpenAI step, right? ChatGPT returns the video caption. And then media URL, grab it from the upload to Blotato step. Grab data, then URL. Fill out Instagram for the platform and Instagram for the target type. Add an HTTP module. So it sends a post request to this URL. Here's the header, blotato-api-key. And again, grab this API key from the variable we set over here, set up social accounts, body type raw, content type JSON, and you're just going to reference the JSON from the previous step. So request content and then JSON. We're pretty much going to go down the list and do that for each platform. But like I said, Facebook is a little bit different. So you're going to choose Blotato, publish post, Facebook. And again, the only parameter that was added was page ID over here. So everything else is the same. You can clone the first JSON and then make this JSON. Just swap out the account ID. It should be Facebook ID. And then the page ID should be the Facebook page ID. Just be careful you have the right thing. There's a difference between your Facebook account ID and your Facebook page ID. And then platform should be Facebook, target type should be Facebook. Similarly here, we're going to make another HTTP request. Everything is pretty much the same. The only thing you have to change is which JSON you're referencing. So obviously this Facebook call should reference this JSON, right? Not the other ones. And then Google Sheets, I did auto align in make.com, by the way. So if you're like dragging a bunch of stuff around, but you don't want to do it manually, you can just click auto align. But sometimes it does weird things like put Google Sheets right here. But anyway, so here, just connect your Google Sheets accounts, search method, search my path, my drive. I have a spreadsheet to contain the different scripts that were created. So typically you'll have a drop down here where you can choose exactly which spreadsheet it is, choose the sheet name. If your contains headers, then say yes, and then fill out the values. So this is the sheet over here. It's very simple. It just has the date, the script, the caption, and the final video URL accessible on blotato.com. Okay, so create a date, the script from the Perplexity step, the caption from the OpenAI ChatGPT step, and the video URL from uploading it to Blotato. So now we're going to LinkedIn. So use Blotato-publish post, replace account ID with your LinkedIn ID, and then replace platform and target type with LinkedIn. Okay. And then over here, again, the same as usual, just replace which JSON it's referencing. It should be referencing the one it's attached to. And Twitter, again, very similar. So use Blotato-publish post as your data structure, swap out the account ID, Twitter ID. One thing here that's different is truncating the video description. So if you don't have a paid account, your tweet limit is 280 characters. Just to be safe, I truncated it 270. But yeah, if you don't want to do the truncation, you could have another step that simplifies the description to like a 1 or 2 sentence tweet, right? So that's another option. And then the last thing, just make sure you change Twitter over here, the platform, and the target type. Okay. And then TikTok. So remember, this has its own data structure. So click blotato-publish post, TikTok. Okay, target type is TikTok, privacy level public to everyone. These are all default selected. You really don't have to change this unless you want to indicate it's AI generated here. Here's the text. Remember to change platform to TikTok, and your account ID should be using your TikTok ID. Once you've done that, just like before, we have our HTTP request and just reference the JSON that we just made. The last one is threads. So this just uses the default one, Blotato publish post. Just replace your threads ID, put threads here, and similar to Twitter, we're just going to truncate it. So the character limit for threads is 500. So I just truncated it to 490. I don't have YouTube publishing yet in Blotato, but Make already has a YouTube module. So if you just click here, YouTube, upload a video, and then just connect your accounts and fill out the form similar to the previous connections if you want to upload to YouTube Shorts as well. That's pretty much the whole flow and how to build it step by step. Again, if you want the Make template that you can just import into your Make account, make sure you subscribe to my newsletter. I'll put the link in the description. I should have mentioned here at the beginning, let's say you want to like make 1 video a day, you can run it daily at whatever time you choose, right? So here I'm just set the scenario to run every day at this time. And now I'm going to run the scenario so you can see the entire flow, and then you'll be able to see the avatar video on all my social platforms. I'll click save. Then I'm going to click run once, and yeah, we're going to have to wait some time. All right, so it's almost done here. I think we have probably just a minute left, and then the rest of the flow should run. And again, you can adjust the wait times just depending on how long your video script is. So now you can see everything running, everything populated. Yeah, and everything looks good. Usually if there's an error, the execution will stop. And one thing I want to point out, if you're new to make.com, go to scenario settings, and I recommend allowing storing of incomplete executions. So if something fails, you can pick it up from that point onward instead of having to like run the whole flow from the beginning. But yeah, this looks good. Let's check the Google Sheet real quick. That'll probably be the fastest. Yep. So you can see the timestamp here. What's just now? Here's the video URL. So this is just in Blotato, and then it's downloading the video here. Okay, great. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to check each of my social platforms to make sure that everything was published correctly. First, let's go to Instagram, and here's my video, right? So here it's on mute, but here's the description. Here's the video. Okay, awesome. So that's good to go. Looks good. And there are a lot of things you can do to improve the audio quality. I will cover that in the next video. But yeah, everything looks good so far. I'm going to go ahead and delete this. And let's check Facebook. I just published it to my Blotato page, which I haven't maintained in forever. Okay, but here it is. Here's the SEO optimized description with hashtags. Let's check LinkedIn. Okay, here it is. Posted 1 minute ago. And you can see like everything looks good. The video dimensions look good. Nothing funky going on. Let me check Twitter now. Okay, there it is. Now I'm going to check TikTok. There it is. You can see my test one from earlier this morning before I started filming. Someone already commented. It was 2 minutes ago. I generally don't recommend deleting videos in TikTok. Usually you want to just set the privacy setting to only you. Supposedly, if you delete videos, TikTok doesn't like it. I don't know, but I don't want to risk it. So just set it to private. Let me check threads, refresh, and there it is. Threads is actually nice because it has like that 500 character limit. We have our Google Sheet here. So yeah, everything ran successfully. We literally published to Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, Threads, Google Sheets. I showed you how to add YouTube if you want to publish on YouTube Shorts as well. And the cool thing is this can be completely automated, right? So set this to run every day at a certain time. If you want to make multiple videos a day, you can have it run at multiple times in the same day. Perplexity does the research. ChatGPT writes the video caption. HeyGen creates the avatar video, and then publish and distribute everything through Blotato. Make sure you hit subscribe. In my next follow-up video, I'm going to walk through how to make your avatar video sounds a lot more professional by using Elevenlabs, and also show you some interesting variations for how to mix up the videos, like changing out backgrounds, different kinds of editing, so that you have a little variety in the videos you create. If you want the plug-and-play template to import this into your Make account directly, go to my newsletter, sabrina.dev, and grab it for there. All right, I'm Sabrina